In today's video, I will show you how to create a vision board printable like this one using Canva. I have the paid version, but you can make this on a non-paid version. And the only limitation, which I'll point out a little bit later in the tutorial, is if you do want to pick any elements or any feature that is pro, then of course you have to sign up for the paid version. But today, all free stuff that I will show you, and then that way you can make one yourself. Now, I will be showing you how to make the vision board for my Hobonichi planner, which is this A6 size one, but you can still follow along regardless of what planner size you have. All you got to change is the dimension. Sound easy? Let's go and get started. I'm going to briefly show you my Hobonichi planner that I use. So I use this for my morning journaling. So each page is a daily spread, and I just embellish it with washi tapes. I play around with different ink, different handwriting styles. But at the beginning of each new month, so here's the daily spread. It's a grid. You got the month and the date. Each new month has a plain grid. I create a vision board for me because first, I'm a visual person. And then I also want to make sure that it is front of mind. These are visions for the habits and routines that I want to make sure I am on top of on a month-to-month basis. Now, I do create those 1-year goals, 5-year goals, but let's be honest, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing this afternoon, let alone a year or 5 years from now. However, I do make sure that I plan a month ahead to know what I am working towards, depending on how I did with my habits and routines that is important and what matters to me from the previous month. So if I know I've neglected maybe my workout, I've neglected doing my skincare, this vision board for me is one of those things that keeps it front of mind, reminds me, hey, have you been taking your walk, or have you been doing the stuff that you said is important for you this month? Now, of course, keep the big why when you are creating your goals. What are you moving towards to make yourself a better person, to get yourself promoted in a job, be financially more stable? So whatever it is, have those big whys, but then also have it a little bit more granular, because sometimes if the goal is too big, it becomes too overwhelming. And so this vision board for me will help me be more focused, a little bit more motivated, and clear of what I need to do. This is going to be the February. This is what I'm going to show you how I made today. But let me show you the January. So I've got these cute little sticker tabs that's from Square Lime Design. So all items I do mention and show in today's video, please do make sure to have a look at the description below. This is my vision board that I created for January. So I have different little photos of the things that I want to achieve here: working out, catching up with friends, sleep, going on dates with my husband, and everything else. So let's get to it. So this is the Canva. So if you go to canva.com, if you haven't used Canva before, on the left hand side there is the Magic Studio, and then up here is where you can type in what you want to search for. So here I'm going to type vision board. So right underneath it says templates. So these are the templates that lovely creators that use Canva have created, templates that we can use as a starting point. So at the top you can write vision board, photo collage, mood board, and then you just press click, and voila, you have lots and lots and lots of different templates that you can use, and it all depends on which is aesthetically pleasing to yourself. So if you are going to create a portrait vision board, maybe pick one that's already in that orientation. If you want to create something and print something out for your wall and you want it landscape, whatever it is, pick whatever ones you like. Now, I will show a little bit later in the video how you will know whether it's a free template or element versus a pro, which is the paid version. Okay, so keep that in mind when you do click on something yourself and you go, oh, Marianne said that this is free. So this one here that the arrow is pointing to is a free one, and that is the one that I used for my February. So you just click on it and then it'll open up the design. So as you can see here, it shows who the design is by, and I have already put the link to this template in the description. So if you also want to use it for your vision board, you don't have to go searching for it, because I've made it easy for you by having the direct link to this design. So you click on it. This particular design is 20 centimeters by 30 centimeters. Now, my little A6 book is, of course, smaller than that. The great thing with Canva is where the arrow is pointing, it says resize and magic switch. We can customize the size to whatever dimensions we want. So right here, can you see custom size right at the top of this little list here? Here you can choose social media size, whether you want it for an Instagram post, an Instagram story, an Instagram reel. Click on these different things to find out. That's how we learn. It's just click away and see what each one has. But right at the top there, it says custom size. So I will click on that one, and now I already have the different sizes on my little drop down box of the different things I have resized for my own projects. The size or the dimension that I use for my vision board for the Hobonichi original A6 is 9.5 centimeters by 13 centimeters. However, if you want to go and create a vision board for your A5 planner, for your disc-bound happy planner classic size, guess what? All you do is measure your page so that it fits within your page, and you can, right at the top here, you can change the dimension either in centimeters, inches, or pixels. So for this purpose, I already know for my own planner that I'm going to be using the 9.5 by 13 centimeters. So do whatever size you want to create. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that size. So here it is for those of you following along and you also want to create a vision board printable for your Hobonichi original. It's 9.5 centimeters by 13 centimeters, or in inches, it's 3.75 inches by 5.25 inches. So then that way, you know exactly the measurements that I use today. So I'm going to click on that one, and then all you do is press continue. And then what you can do is you can either copy and resize this design, so then you have the original copy as well as a new copy. On Canva, you can either copy and resize, or you can resize the design and it just makes the original to the dimension that you want. Okay, so pick or choose whichever you want. I'm just going to copy and resize because I like keeping the original version. So then that way I don't ruin the original design and I can always go back. And it keeps it in your little projects folder if you are a Canva user. So then it'll resize it for you. It may take a while depending on the speed of your computer. But now what it has done is it has resized the 20 by 30 centimeter of the original one down to my dimension of 9.5 centimeters by 13 centimeters. But see how on the left hand side and the right hand side, the margins, the pictures have now gotten smaller. If you do resize it, it may affect the design of the original template. So what you do, just click on the page and then drag your mouse. So keep clicking on your mouse, drag it, so then it highlights all the pictures. Okay, see how it turned that light purple? Click on the page, drag it, so then it highlights all the pictures. And guess what you can do once you've done that is you can then manipulate those images and move it around so then it fits within your template. So then you can just, what I do is I normally just drag one of the corners and then just drag it to make it bigger, or if you want to make it smaller, so just move it about on your page. And then now all those pictures that I highlighted and grabbed together can be expanded to fit my page. All good? Sound good? Okay, let's keep going. So now the next thing is the fun part. On the very top left-hand corner of your Canva dashboard, you will see a feature called Elements. Click on it. You can grab videos, memes, GIFs, and for this purpose, we're going to get some images. I'll go through this bit first, but later, so stick around. If you want to put your own pictures, I will show you how. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to grab the images that's within Canva. So you just click on that little icon, click. See how it says graphics, photos, videos, shapes. Now for me, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to look through all of that, is I'm going to search what I need. So one of the things that I use my vision board for, as I said in the beginning, are for habits and routines that I want to focus on for the month of February. So I'm not going to put all my goals, because guess what? We all know that if we have too many things to focus on, we don't do anything at all. So pick your top 2 or 3 habits or goals or visions that you want to focus on for the new month or for the month of February. So one of the first things that I like to look for is workout images. Click workout and then it'll spit out all these little images, but I don't go to the gym. I just do my workout at home. So I'm going to narrow my search to home workout. And then now, instead of the gyms and barbells and gym equipment, all the workout that I can do at home. So then I just pick all the images that I like, that resonates with me, things that I do. And so what you do, once you picked an image that you like, so you just click on the image you like, and guess what? What you can do is drag it to one of the picture templates that you see on the design. And what it'll do is it'll swap it. And then you don't have to worry about moving, the little frames or anything like that. So let me show you. So I click this one with the barbell and boop. Did you see how it replaced it? So you can, if you wanted, if you didn't want it to be replaced and you just want to put that picture on top of the whole thing, you can actually wait for it so it doesn't replace the image that you wanted to go on. So just again, play around with it. You won't break anything because there is a go back button. So never fear. And if you do make a mistake, guess what? It's a learning opportunity, right? And so there I picked out the image that I want. Now the image, it looks too small in that frame. Again, what you can do is highlight that image so then it has a nice lilac or purple border around it, so you know it's picking that one. And then what you can do is again drag one of the little corners and then you can make it bigger, zoom in, see how it still has that little frame for that template. So you can either make it bigger, you can have the focus, you can move it around so then the focus is in the middle of that frame. Especially for me, I am printing it a lot smaller for my Hobonichi A6 page, so I want to make sure it stands out rather than these tiny little barbells on that frame. Okay, so then there we go. I just align it so then it fits nicely in the middle of that frame. And then of course what you need to do now is fill up the rest of the page with whatever other image you want to do. See how on some of these images there's the landscape, and so of course it may not fit nicely on the portrait of the images on our vision board. So what you can do is you can actually filter the images and then click on it, and then you can filter if you want only the square photos, vertical, horizontal, static images, so whatever it is. So here I'm just going to go and filter all the vertical images. It'll make it easier for me to go through the images that I want to look at rather than have everything all on the dashboard. And then now I'll just go look for some more things. I need to have workout as a really top priority, so I'll put another photo in, and again I resized it to fit the little frame that I popped it in on the design. You can just go and look for more stuff that is applicable to the habits and routines that you want to focus on. Cleaning the home, I need to declutter a lot of things in our little small apartment. So here we go, we've got a mopping lady to make sure that it's something that from front of mine to make sure that I clean. Okay, I'm going to stop the video right here because I'm probably going, why are you putting like mopping and cleaning and barbells and planks? Now, this is based on Mel Robbins. I think one of her yearly free things like Mindset Reset or Better 2024. One of the things she says is if you are going to create vision boards is don't put a vision of the outcome. So if you want to lose weight, don't put a skinny person on there. Or if you want to climb Mount Everest, don't put the peak of Mount Everest. Because guess what? It's so far away that when you don't have the motivation, when you don't have discipline, it just seems too much, right? So she says for your vision board, put things of the daily grind, things that you do to remind you, hey, you said you wanted to go and be healthier, you want to run marathons, you want to be promoted at work. Put images and visions of things that you need to do daily. So if it's where you are, it rains all the time or it's cold at the moment and you want to go for an exercise or outdoor, put like a dreary picture of someone walking, someone running. So visually make sure the visions you are putting are the things that remind you, oh, I gotta get up in the morning. So maybe put an alarm clock. Oh, I need to pass my exam. It's that late night person studying in front of the laptop. So see how it reminds you, these are the daily things you need to do when you don't have the motivation or you don't have the discipline. Oh, I just want to sit on the couch and do nothing and eat bags and bags of chips. For me, I put in dumbbells and I put in mopping. It's not the sexiest image, right? So then that way it helps remind me. So just a little tip, if you are going to create vision boards for the daily habits you want to be more effective with, try and do the actions that is needed for you to get to the outcome. The other one's expenses. I have fallen off the wagon in tracking our daily expenses. So here's a lady typing in the calculator, working out how much is spent on fountain pens and planners. Now here I put coffee because one of the things that I want to do in the month of February, and I was doing in January as well, is to catch up with real life friends. I love you guys in the community, in the chat, in comments, if you are on Instagram and you see me over there, as well as DMs. Love those. I would never swap them for anything, but it's important that I do catch up with my friends and family in real life. So I'm going to put here coffee. Originally I had coffee and it just had, coffee. Narrowed my research to coffee with friends, and then I'll put that somewhere along on the page. So you just play around where you want the images you want. Again, click, drag to resize your picture so it fits nicely into the template that you have picked on Canva. Then that way, if you are printing it a little bit smaller than normal, it's not so tiny. Date night. I haven't been nurturing just the two of us going out together. We have two young sons, a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old. Trying to have dinner outside at a restaurant with children, you can never actually have a real adult conversation. So I put date night. As you can see here, popcorn I think was date night. Sleep is the bottom middle column, and then of course drinking water. And speaking of, I'm going to drink some water because I'm getting dry throat. So just put in the search term at the top whatever vision you want that will remind you of what you need to do to make sure you are hitting the habits that you said matter most to you. Make sure your vision board is something that is yours, not someone else's. If someone says that you have to lose weight, don't do it, right? Make sure the goals and the habits, routines, and vision you want are yours. It's a little bit more difficult to try and reach your goals when they are not yours. Now at the top here is the name of the template that the original creator used. So of course, change it to whatever file name that you want because you got to save it on your computer. So for me, I put February goals. So see here, these images, it has a crown. So for you to use these images here, you need to be on the paid version. So if you are using Canva the first time, or you just have a free version, anytime you see a crown on images, templates as well. So this template here is free. If you go back to the beginning when we looked at vision board templates, the ones that are not free will have a crown as well. So that's how you will know whether it is a paid version versus a free version. What else did I put? Self-care. So then the other things that I need to make sure that I look at is taking time for myself, because how important is self-care, everybody? Me time. Who's the most important? Us, right? We need to put that oxygen mask on first, like they say when you board a plane, because if you pass out due to lack of oxygen, how are you going to help others around you? So make sure you look after yourself first. So I think here I put nighttime, skincare. So again, play around, whatever images. This is if you want to use the images on Canva. Now, of course, if you have images that you want to add, maybe pictures of your family. So if you can see uploads is where you can add in your own images, videos, and anything else. But now if you want to save your template, your vision board to your computer, you can click this share button, and then here, see how it says download? Click on that, and then you can choose whatever file type you want. So you can save PNG, JPEG, PDF. So if you wanted, you can save this as a PDF. SVG, you can create it for web design and animation. If any of these images are videos, you can use it as an MP4 video as well as a GIF. So I'm going to choose the JPEG. So it's an image, but because this is a 9.5 centimeters by 13 centimeters template, I'm going to save it as a JPEG because I'll show you how you can print it if you have a home printer. JPEG, and then you just click download and it'll save it on your computer. You'll find it in your downloads. Okay, so it's saved. That's it. Voila, that is Canva. So what we went through, canva.com, you can use it for free. Anything that has a crown means it's part of the paid version or the Canva Pro. But you can go and use images, their videos, their graphics, their GIFs. As long as it doesn't have a crown, it's free. Okay, and then you can save it. Now, can I ask a big favor? If you learned something, aha moments with any of the tips that I have spoken about, habits or journaling, are you able to click that like button right there? I would really, really appreciate it. And of course, if you do have friends that are also planners or just love creating vision boards and love printing all these stuff and want to also start using Canva, let them know. Share this video. So this one here, I do have the link for this template in the description, but it is a pro part of the paid version. So I pay a monthly subscription for the Canva Pro because of course I use it for my Instagram at Mariane Cresp. If you don't follow me, a little segue, hey? It doesn't hurt anybody to let those people know who may not know I am also on Instagram, and make sure you follow me there because that's where I do most of my daily posts, reels and stories, and then I come here on YouTube for the more detailed stuff. So I use Canva for Instagram, my YouTube channel, and all the different graphics that I do. So I have the paid version. So this template here, this is a template that you can also use if you have a paid version of the Canva. And then same thing. See, I've got exercise, catching up with friends, sleeping, holding hands, the shoes again, cleaning, and calculator. And self-care isn't selfish. I do this on a month-to-month basis. I make sure because different months, different seasons will require your focus and attention on different things. So maybe if you are at work and you have a big project, you may have neglected going out with friends. You may have neglected your household. And so maybe once the project is finished on the new month or the following month or after the projects, you now want to go, you know what? I've neglected connecting with my friends, going out with my partner, cleaning the house, decluttering. Then you can then have those as your vision to work towards for your habits and routines. Good? Okay, so let's have a look at that February one. Where is that February one? I have already printed and cut my printable, but let me just quickly show you. I will have a little plug for my Amazon store, and this is where you'll be able to find the planners I use, the books that I have read and recommend, stationery tools. So if you click on that on my Amazon storefront and just scroll down, is you will find the paper trimmer that I use. So I've got two versions. So this one is the Fiskars Shortcut, so it's a little bit cheaper. And then I also have this rotary bypass that is never have to replace the blade. This one here, the Fiskar one, Shortcut, you have to replace the blade every time it goes blunt. So I do have both. So if you want to check our Amazon storefront, you can do so. So that's where you will find the paper cutter. So I've already done it ahead of time. So I've cut it. I use Word document to go and print the beautiful template that we created on Canva. So click on the Word document. Now here, what I like to do, so this one is A4 size because that's the paper I use to print on. So choose whatever dimensions, use the letter size, use that, or whatever paper size you have. But what I like to do now is I'm going to insert that image that we saved on our computer. So go to the top section of your Word document, click on the insert, click on pictures, click on the device, and then wherever you have saved that image, go and click on that. So it was under my downloads. There it is, insert it on your Word document. Ta-da! There it is. And it is the dimension that we have made it at 9.5 by 13 centimeters. Now, of course, to save on paper, but see how at the top and on the left-hand side of that image, there's a lot of margin. What I always like to do is I like to reduce the margin. Now, if you're going to print quite a few of these things, maybe if you want to put it ahead of time and create vision boards or mood boards for other things on your page, and you want to go and create or add more images per page, one of the things I like to do is I like to change the layout. So here, click on that, and then you can change the margin size. There we are, margins, click on that. You'll have a drop down box. You have narrow, wide. I like to do custom margin, which is the option right at the bottom. Click on it, and then I like to change the top, bottom, left, and right margin to 0.5 centimeters. So I change all of that and see what happens with the margin. Boom. And so of course, if you're printing one or you're printing more, you can fit more. But for me, I'm just going to print this. But what will happen is I don't waste all of that bit at the top of the paper. So the bits that are not printed on, I recycle that and use that as part of our homeschooling. So we love to recycle and reuse here. So then what you do now, see, all nice and narrow margins and less waste. And then of course you click top left hand of your screen, file, and then print, and then there we go. Choose the paper size that you're printing on, and then pick the printer that you have if you have multiple printers. And then I use an Epson EcoTank 2750. Now it's time to glue and embellish back up the page. Now, so you can either use a glue stick, double-sided sticky tape. I've got this tape runner. It's the Express It. On the Amazon, couldn't find this exact same one. So what I did is I just other options. So then you just run that along the edges of your printable. There we go. So you can either just do the corners if you're too scared. Now do make sure, test it out first on a scrap piece of paper, whatever tape runner or double-sided tape. Just do a little bit and see if you can remove it if you place your printable incorrectly. Because sometimes some of these ones, it says here, it's permanent. Can you see it says permanent? So then if I place it on my page incorrectly, I'm going to have a hard time trying to reposition it. It's staying there because it may rip your page. Okay, so do make sure to test it out on scrap piece of paper. So that looks like it's all lined up. There we go. That's that. Put these cute little tulips. So I have the Japanese version of this Hobonichi original, And so it's got little quotes or writing on the bottom. You know, you can cover that with washi tape. And then here I've got, this is the Hobonichi basic stencil. So it's got, see how those little jagged edges that help cut your washi tape nice and straight. And then it's got all the different templates on there. And then the other thing that I like to do, I'm going to use a marker, which I did for January. Can you see how the January, how it has little polka dots? Okay, and then I'll just use little polka dots, so then it's not just so plain around the edges. And then you can play around, you can do squiggles, you can use a different colored marker. And so these are just nice little embellishments. Now the reason, of course, we like to embellish things, for those of us that love to embellish our planner pages, it's because one of the things that help you change your behavior and build better habits is making things attractive. So this is the Pilot Friction colors that I got as part of a brand partnership I had with Pilot Pen Australia for January. So I just want to disclose that. But I have used Pilot pens, markers and highlighters in the past. So I've got the red and pink. And then if I wanted, I won't do it now because in case I make a mistake, if I wanted, I can also add little polka dots inside the picture itself. See I've got some polka dots there. Cute washi for February. Yeah, I thought so too. This one is from Daiso here in Australia. It's a Japanese sort of like variety stores, got stationery and kitchen stuff and everything. And I think there are Daisos as well around the world in the US. There we go. What do we think? That looks nice. So that's how I'm going to have the grid page for the beginning of each month in my Hobonichi planner. Of course, you can also create one for your A5 inserts, your discbound planners, Happy Planner Classic, letter. If you also have just a plain journal, you can create any mood board that you want. Share my screen with you so then you can see what it looks like. So that's that vision board I just printed and created. Here on the left hand side it says upload. So if you click on that, these are all the different files I have uploaded along the way. Pictures that I use for my thumbnail pictures, my little boy for the start of the year. I homeschool him. I got my young son to hold a blank piece of paper. Here's a little tip, blank piece of paper. And then what I do is I go into Canva and then I put text. And I put high school 2024. So I had put, see that little tiny one? There's nothing on that piece of paper. But guess what? On Canva, you can add text and you can add, if you want, teacher's name, classroom, the school, the year. So then at the beginning of the year, and then at the end of the year, I'll get him to hold again another piece of paper. You can upload your videos, your pictures, anything else that you would like to add that's already on your computer or on your file to your template. Does that sound good? So here on the left, upload your own pictures and images. And then what I would do, so let me show you, let me add him. See? There you go. So if you have pictures of your family and you want to create a mood board or even a greeting card or a postcard, you know, to send out to family, to grandma and grandpa, you can use Canva. Now, there's no affiliation for it. I'm not getting sponsored for this mention, but it's a really great tool to use. And so you can have like pictures, the stuff in January that happened, and you can add that into your planner or journal. Isn't that wonderful? So there's January, and then there's now February. So I'm all ready. So then now this particular planner is actually for my morning journal. I've just started this on a regular basis at the beginning of 2024, and I have found a lot of benefits for writing my thoughts down on paper, whether it's worry log, an anxiety log, celebrating the wins, struggles, what I'm grateful for, what I'm looking forward to, affirmations, positive motivational quotes, morning journaling has been really, really helpful. Now, I actually created a blog post talking about morning journaling and the benefits it brings you for your not only your self-care but also for your mental well-being. So let me just show you that. So if you go to my website at mariannecresp.com, so see here I have a blog here, the magic behind journaling and how to get started. So I talk about why it's important and the different things. So make sure you go on that. The link is in the description. And guess what? At the end of that blog post, there is a little free printable download. You know I look after you guys. Check the link below for the blog. So I have a printable download, whether you're new to journaling, just starting, or a seasoned journaler. Sometimes whether you do your journaling in the morning, in the evening, you don't know what to write. So I have created 30 morning journal prompts that you can use to jumpstart your writing session, and then that way you can have a look at this, pick and choose, or what I'm doing at the moment is going down the list and writing each day. So this is a free printable download. You can print in A5 size, in letter or big happy planner size, as well as Happy Planner Classic. So you just go click the blog, read it so you know the benefits and how to get started, and then you can download it, put it on your computer, print it out, put it in your lovely planner, and then that way you have a little something to refer to if you go, what do I want to write today? Plan a small act of kindness for today. Identify one new thing you want to learn today. So whether you only write a sentence or two, or you fill in a little A6 size page of just writing, or if you want pages and pages of journaling and it's beneficial for your mental well-being, do what is within your capacity. Don't force it, because what happens when you force it? You don't do it. It becomes a chore. Make it an enjoyable process. If by any chance you don't get to write anything, sometimes I don't get to do my morning journal. So what I do is I just create these little frame and then put blue lines with a red line as margin, and then I will use that page later down the track. So this one here, I missed writing on the 18th of January. I used that page on the 1st of February to write down notes when I watched one of the videos, Stop the Stress. So you can go and repurpose that page. So don't feel like, oh, I have to write something because I missed a day. Don't do that, because that's when you fall off wanting to action and complete your habits on a consistent basis. Consistent doesn't mean every day, okay? So don't be hard on yourself if you don't get to do your habits on a day-to-day basis, because guess what? Life happens, other priorities take place. That day, more important things took priority. But what you need to do is, of course, if you have set goals for yourself, try and get back, try and do it the next day. Try and not miss 2 days in a row. I have missed 3 days, 4 days in a row, but then it's important to get back on track. I am creating another free printable download for Simple Habit Tracker. So for those of you that just sometimes maybe want to just start from the beginning, keep it to just one focus at a time, put your name down on the wait list. If you do want to see more of this Hobonichi planner and how I use it as part of my morning journal, it is in the description below. Did you know that those of you that watch my videos, over 70% of you are yet to subscribe to my channel? What? Come on, come join the community. So I'd appreciate it if you go and hit that bell while you're at it, so then that way you will be notified when I go on for my live stream, when I upload new videos or podcast, and then also it tells me you care. So I do appreciate it. Always brings me joy when I spend time with you. So I appreciate you. You have a great day. Make sure you're looking after yourself. Take even 5 minutes and just don't do anything. Sit on the couch, deep breath, and I will see you again. Thank you so much, everybody.